Hey guys, it's Christy with Zen 10 Lotus Tarot, and I just wanted to come to you tonight with this really quick video. I hope you're having an awesome full moon evening. Sun's about to set in my world, and so I'm looking forward to seeing that big, beautiful moon tonight. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. I'm super excited to come to you with this video because today, of all days, usually when the full moon comes, the energy is super chaotic, is the best way to describe it, and heavy sometimes. And today it feels super light and exciting and energetically happy, and full of goodness, full of inspiration, full of encouragement, full of victory. You know what I mean? Victory. It's a feeling of victory is the best way to describe it. And I don't know what that victory is for you. I don't know what it is that you're overcoming. Everybody, every day is fighting their own battles of something, anything. Could be small, could be huge, could be life-changing, could be life-altering, could be overcoming something, hurdling some big goal, some big project that you're working on. Whatever it is, the energy is super high for victory for you, which is exciting. How do we get that energy? How do we keep that energy going? Because we can quickly lose that momentum. Things can happen in our lives every day. We've got all this interference, interaction, things that happen in our lives, day to day, that can get us into a space where we're forgetting that we've been victorious in anything, right? And I don't care how big or small that victory is for you. Maybe today you woke up and you walked a little further than you have been capable of walking in the past. Or maybe you woke up and you had, a new idea that came to fruition in your brain. Or maybe today you woke up and your kids got ready for school super easily, and it made your whole day go smooth. And whatever victory it is that you're celebrating today, I just want you to continue to be grateful for those small, tiny, everyday victories that lead us to increasing our vibration of faith and gratitude, and attracting more victories into our life. And the reason I say that is because, we talk about us all always on that healing path, right? Or a grieving path, or we're all dealing with things in our day to day that can bring our energy down, bring our faith down, bring our awareness, make it a little foggy. We can be dealing with things that make us feel, a sense of doubt or fear or loss in some way, and I say this all the time, but the devil is the creator of illusion and confusion. And that's the truth. When you're feeling like that doubt or fear in anything, and you're wondering if you can be victorious in anything, the biggest thing that we have to focus on is knowing that we have faith in whatever it is that we desire as an outcome. You know what I mean? And it's like, where is your faith? Is your faith bigger than your fear, or is your fear bigger than your faith? It's kind of hard. We get distracted a lot of times, and we can't always stay in that faith, because sometimes it feels like everything is crashing down all at once. All those things, around us that maybe have defined us in some way, begin to crumble, and then what? You don't think that's a huge test, to test our faith, to test our trust, to test our ability to stay focused on our desires, our dreams, our goals, our aspirations, our success, our victory in anything. and maybe that victory is peace for you, just to have peace. you know, that's a huge victory. And Spirit is encouraging you, and my message have been so positive today about standing in your power and never allowing anything, any circumstance, any failure, any setback, any blockage, any belief system, any past experience, any doubt get in the way of your faith in knowing who you are in this world, knowing that you will overcome, knowing that you have planted your seeds, you have dealt with things in the past, you've grieved things, you've healed from things, you know how to do this, you know what you have as your, it's almost like your little toolbox, right? Your toolbox of things to help you get through. And what is that toolbox? I don't know what it is for you. We all have them, even if we don't realize we do. Like, what's your toolbox? Is it full of faith? Is it full of inspiration? Is it full of knowledge? Is it full of ideas? Is it full of a what next attitude? Is it a feeling of excitement for the future? Is it those thoughts of encouragement that from people and places and things and ideas that are super positive in your life? Is it just knowing your heart space and knowing that no matter what does occur in your life, no matter what obstacle it is, no matter how big the mountain seems to climb, that you're still gonna take a step forward. You're still gonna climb it. You're still gonna keep going. Nothing can stop you from being who you are in your heart space, your loving space. Nobody can dim your love light energy unless you allow it, unless you allow that to happen. So what can we do, each moment of each day, and especially in times where energy is high and things are a little chaotic, and energy such as a full moon energy like tonight, how do we stay focused? What are you speaking to yourself? What are you listening to from that little voice, that tiny voice inside of your head and your heart? Is it a positive voice? Is it a voice of reason? Is it a voice of discernment? Is it a voice of recognition and awareness? Is it a voice of truth and clarity? Is it a voice of doubt? Is it a voice of fear? Is it a voice of discouragement? Is it a voice of old belief patterns that no longer serve you? Is it I don't know. You just have to pay attention, and if that voice, that inner voice, that dialogue that you have with only yourself, excuse me, Spirit, seems to be bringing you down, then you need to start a new story for yourself. You need to start a new conversation with yourself. You need to begin a new narrative about you, about what's possible for you, about what you're capable of, what you are great at, what are the good things about you that nobody can change, nobody can take away from you. It doesn't matter what happens to you. It doesn't matter how far you fall. It doesn't matter how hard the climb seems to be. It doesn't matter even if you feel like you don't know what's next, like you have absolutely no clue what is next for you. Spirit is saying, pray, give it to God, give it to your ancestors, give it to your spiritual team. Let them figure it out for you. Keep yourself in faith and knowing that you have the guidance that you need. You have your heart, you have your soul, you have your knowledge, your power, your intelligence, your things that Nothing can, your past experiences, your learning, your growing that you've done, the evolving that you have been through, the lessons, oh shit, the lessons that you've learned in any past experience that now allows you the ability to grow from those lessons. Nobody can take those away from you, but you have to begin a new story for yourself. You can't allow those things to bring you down. You have to get up. You have to keep going. You have to keep moving forward. You get to pen your own chapters. You get to pen your own day-to-day. You get to pen your own life path, And so write a new story. Even if you have to write down everything right now, this moment, this second, that you are grateful for. A lot of people been through a lot of shit. In our lives, and I feel for anybody going through anything tough. And if I can give any advice to you, is that nothing just happens. And I say that because it's all in God's plan for us. It could be divine timing. It could be divine intervention. It could be a divine detour, a divine expansion, a divine new direction, a divine purpose that maybe you would have never, ever done without the hand of God on that wheel. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, so I want you to get excited about whatever it is that you're dealing with in this full moon energy. If it's heavy, I want you to put it down. I want you to put down the heavy and get up, and celebrate your victories. Victories from yesterday, victories from 10 years ago, victories from today. You getting out of bed, you waking up and getting dressed, you getting in that shower and making yourself presentable to go to the store, to run errands, or do whatever it is that you did. Your ability to get up and take your kids to school today, even when you were so tired and so depressed and so down that you couldn't even get yourself out of bed this morning. And I just want you to realize the small victories in every moment of your life, even at your lowest points in time, even at those times when you just feel like you just don't know what to do, even in those times when you just feel like there's no way out, even in those times when you don't know if you could ever change any thing to go well in your life, even in those times when you feel like you're being attacked from every direction, and you want to just scream, why? Why? You don't understand why, but you don't have to, because God's got it in his hands, and he's figuring it out for you. He's the one going to fight your battles for you. He's the one that's going to figure things out for you. He's the one that's going to set you on that path that lifts you up again. He's the one that's going to give you a miracle in your life so that you know that he's there, that he's real, that he's with us every step of the way, So I just want you to get excited about your little victories, any victories that you have in any single day. And the reason I talk about that today is because the card that came out of the Rumi Oracle deck was after death, life. And I want to talk about what this card means. And it doesn't mean literal death, so we're not going to get dark with it. It could definitely be that you're grieving the loss of someone, or you're grieving the loss of something, maybe even yourself, the loss of your own identity, of who you were versus who you now are becoming. And moment by moment we change, right? Change happens very, very every day. We're not the same person we were 10 minutes ago, because maybe we tripped up the steps, and now we know that, we got to watch how we're walking up the steps. And so that changed us in some way. And so what I mean is, and this is the life of me, clumsy, stumbling upstairs, falling downstairs, tripping over my own feet, whatever it is. But these are the little things that change me on a daily basis. Oh, I don't wear those kind of shoes because I fall every time I wear them. You know what I mean? And so, but literally, every single day we're changing. Um, could be huge changes, life changes, life altering changes. And what did we talk about? Are some of the most stressful things that we'll ever deal with in our entire life. This is what this card talks about, change, transformation, death that leads to a rebirth in some way. And so what I mean by death is death of an old situation, death of an old identity, death of who you were versus who you now are. Okay? And sometimes that death is super abrupt and super unplanned. You know what I mean? Unplanned in that, maybe your entire living situation has changed. Maybe your entire job situation has changed. Maybe your career has changed. Maybe your the identity of who you thought you were to a lot of other people who is now changing. You know what I mean? So like it could be your identity to others that's changing. Who you were in your past to others is now something that they have to grieve in order for you to become who it is that you are now, who you now are. You know what I mean? To them, to yourself, to the world. It's like it's a grieving process that we go through individually as that change occurs, as that transformation happens, as that rebirth develops. We go through that grieving process, but so does everybody around us, especially those we love. And so you're trying to reconcile at this time. How do you become the person you're meant to be without disappointing, without challenges, without it's like a letting go process of something that was to now be something different. And so there's a lot of chaos in that happening, a lot of chaos in confusion, a lot of what if thinking, a lot of fear-based thinking, a lot of doubts for success, a lot of doubts for victory. Excuse me, thank you, Spirit. Wondering what people think of you, concerning yourself with how your change, your transformation, the death of the old you versus the new you, how that's going to be viewed or perceived or accepted by others. And this card is about being more of your authentic, raw, and real self. And that it is a letting go process. It is a literal death of an old version of yourself, becoming a new version of yourself. And you may have had, the feeling of 10 swords stabbed in your back in order for you to be pushed forward into the new version of you, into the death of the old you. But Spirit is saying it was divine, whether it was divine intervention, whether it was divine protection, whether it was divinely guided, whether it was an epiphany for you, whether it was literally, heartbreak. Destruction, chaos, whatever it was necessary for your life path and your purpose. Because when such drastic changes happen in our life, we're never unchanged. We're never unchanged. Now, we do have a choice in the matter. We do have a choice in how things change for us. Do they change for the better? In that, how we perceive it is going to allow us to learn and grow and evolve and explore and discover and be curious about what's next, excited about a new beginning? Or are we going to feel like there's no turning? Are we going to grieve this to the point of that we never really move forward? Are we going to allow the thoughts and the energies and the distractions and the blocks and the destruction and the, pulling the rug out from under you and all that stuff? Are we going to let that bring our spirit down and think to ourselves, it's over, life is over as I knew it? No, we can for sure. Don't get me wrong, we can. We can certainly do that, but we do have a choice in the matter. And Spirit is encouraging you to take it to God. Whatever it is that you're feeling like is changing to the point of the death of the old you and into a transformation of the new you. And if you're feeling like you're not sure how to keep grounded during this time, pray about it. Ask for his help. Ask for the help of Jesus. Ask for the help of your ancestors. Ask for the help of all of your spirit team that are there with you through everything that you ever go through in your life, even when it seems like they're not there. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. Thank you, Garth Brooks. I heard that song in my head, and I'll tell you why. Because sometimes the things that we think are for us are not for us. Whatever it is, it could be a career, it could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be people, just people in your community. It could be anything, but whatever it is, some of the best gifts in our life are prayers that go unanswered, prayers that go unanswered for our best interest, because God has, and T.D. Jake says this all the time, who you know how I feel about him. I love him. Says this all the time, God heard conversations you didn't hear. God saw things you didn't see. These are protections. These are divine interventions for our best interest to stay on our path of purpose, whatever that purpose is that God has planned for us. And it's like, so even when you think you're off track, even when you think you're being blocked, even when you think you're being ostracized, even when you think you're being kicked out of something, even when you think his foot is on your forehead, it's for your best path possible. So get excited about the victory in that, the victory in the protection, the victory in the new direction, the victory in you overcoming anything, and learning and growing from your experiences into that new version, that transformation, that metamorphosis of a new life for you, whatever it is. And I don't care if it feels like it's hopeless. I don't care if it feels like you just don't even know what to do next, really. Give it to God. Pray about it. Have faith. Don't let fear and doubt cloud your judgment of faith and knowing who you are and what you desire out of your life. So those were, that was the first card that came out. So I'm just going to throw a couple cards and see what it is that you're dealing with that we can try and help with in some way. I got my Positive Thoughts deck, which I just love. So we're going to throw a couple of these out because I'm feeling like we need positive energy today because the momentum is so high. Like I feel like there was some doubt, but now the momentum is getting higher. Everything in my life works now and forevermore. My life works beautifully. Whatever's going on, you know, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're struggling with, celebrate the victory in today. The fact that you opened up your eyes and you took a breath this morning, the fact that you could wiggle your toes and get out of bed, the fact that you were able to, cook breakfast for your children before they went to school, the fact that you're able to roll over and smile at your spouse or your friend or your loved one or whatever, or the fact that you were able to go to the store today and run errands for someone, or the fact that you helped someone today, whatever it is, celebrate the victories, because when you celebrate victories, more victories come and your life works beautifully. It does. Everything in my life works now and forevermore. Perspective, switch up your perspective. If you're feeling low vibrational, if you're feeling like you don't have a whole lot to celebrate, start writing shit down. Write down everything that you can celebrate today, every victory. There's no too big or too small. My future is glorious. Your future is glorious if you can become aware of everything that you have in this life today and every day that you can feel grateful for, that you can feel faithful about, that you can feel inspired by, that you can feel encouraged, that you can feel moving you in a path that's meant for you, trusting in God, trusting in your plan, trusting in all the hard work that you've put in, no matter what it is, and knowing that you have overcome bigger mountains, you've overcome way bigger mountains, and you're ready to get up to the top and look at that view and celebrate it, celebrate the victory of having to take every step you have to take in order to get there. And sometimes that isn't easy, but you're going to celebrate every victory as you do it. I listen with love to my body's messages. My body is always working towards optimum health. My body wants to be whole and healthy. I cooperate and become healthy, whole, and complete. So again, we talk about this all the time, how you feed your body. What are you doing for your body to make yourself feel energetic? Our body releases endorphins with every exercise we do. So if you're feeling low, it's the best time to try to exercise, even if that's for a short walk, even if that's for doing 10 jumping jacks between commercials, try your best to force yourself in order to begin some sort of physical activity for your body, because when you do, it's the easiest way to lessen depression, feelings of depression, increase those endorphins and those natural mood boosters within us. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Make sure that you're eating healthy. Try not to mask any feelings that you're having or any things that you're going through with substances such as food or like unhealthy foods, unhealthy beverages, unhealthy drugs, you know what I mean, or any kind of mood altering substances such as alcohol, drugs, things like that. When we're feeling low or things are occurring around us that are trying to bring our vibration down, we have to make sure to stay above anything that could bring our vibrational frequency down, such as substances. If we can steer clear of substances of any kind, whatever that thing is for you, whether that addiction may be food, or it may be alcohol, or it may be drugs, or it may be I don't know what it is for you, but try your best at this time to not utilize those things to mask whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is that you're grieving, whatever it is that you're healing from, because then you're clouding your own judgment, you're clouding your own clarity, you're clouding your own healing. We have to be clear in order to heal. Okay, so try your best to listen to your body. Are you tired? Sleep. Take a nap. Are you hungry? Eat. Are you thirsty? Water. Water is so good for our body. Are you lacking vitamins? Take a multivitamin. If you're feeling depressed, sometimes vitamin D helps. Maybe talk with your doctor about your vitamin D levels. Whatever it is, listen to your body. Listen to those subtle hints of things that aren't right with your body. Those things we want to catch when they're just a whisper and not a scream, right? We don't want our body screaming at us that something's wrong. We want to listen when it's whispering to us, hey, I don't feel very good today. Hey, I need, I'm feeling super thirsty. I'm really dry. We want to whisper and not a scream when something's actually wrong with us. So yeah, I encourage you to listen to your body, whatever it is that you're dealing with. And let's talk about some self-care as well for this full moon energy for my collective reading. Self-care. For all my feminines, my divine feminines out there, connect with your womb. Maybe you're having a sacral chakra issue. Maybe your chakras aren't aligned. I would encourage you to meditate and to get into a space where you're in alignment with your chakras and that they're all open and not blocked in some way. There are lots of meditations on YouTube. I say Google it, but I mean just YouTube it or whatever, and look for things concentrating on your root and sacral chakra. Pleasure. Feel free to enjoy pleasure. If you have that special someone in your life, you have a husband, you have a wife, whatever, enjoy pleasure with somebody that you love. You know what I mean? And there's nothing better than that kind of pleasure with somebody that you love. You know what I mean? Somebody that knows you, somebody that feels you on a soul level, somebody that you connect with and intellectually, as your soul person. You know what I mean? So and if you're somebody who's alone, self-pleasure, that's better than sharing sexual energy with somebody that you don't love or don't care about or don't connect with on that kind of level, at a love level, on a soul level, on a heart space, mind space connectivity. You know what I mean? Self-pleasure is not a bad thing. Just saying. Jiminy Christmas. Sex. Okay, so sex. Again, it's kind of like the same thing. Wow. We got lots of... I don't know what's going on, collective. But pleasure is a big deal right now. And you should seek pleasure responsibly. I'm getting blushed. Responsibly. And that also releases endorphins. That keeps your vibration high if you're with a high vibrational partner, and somebody that you connect with and you love. And spiritual connectivity is what God made our bodies to do. You know what I mean? Is to connect. So Spirit's encouraging you to do that with your partner. So, and look at the stars, yo. I don't know. Look at the stars. Yes, for sure. Tonight is a full moon. I will definitely be gazing at that full moon with the stars. So yeah, let's get a couple messages of mine from Spirit and see what we can add to that after my little blush time there. Fears are being imagined and blocking your blessings. So what kind of fears are you having right now that could possibly be blocking your blessings? What is standing in your way? Is it fear of criticism? Self-love is required for you at this time, Spirit is saying. The only critic you should ever be concerned about is you. And if you are finding that you are your own worst critic, you have to go within and learn What is it about you that you haven't accepted about you? And how can you start to change that discussion between you and you? You know, what things could make you start to see yourself more clearly, start to love yourself, you know? Self-love is so important, you know? You can't love anyone and you can't share love with anybody if you don't love yourself. So start filling that cup first. You may be dealing with, let me get a clarification on that. You may be dealing with a soulmate union of some kind, whatever it is for you. But Spirit is encouraging you at this time to explore your partner. You know, if you are in a soulmate connection and you are, you know, husband and wife or whatever it is, to start to show your love sexually to your partner. You know what I mean? That's something that you should be doing. You know, that's something that is natural and lovely and fiery, and it's all coming out. So I don't know what's going on down what's going on for you. But you need to start exploring that, you know. And look at my hair, I'm getting all crazy because I'm so nervous. Okay, let's stop talking about that. But the deal is, you are dealing with an old version of yourself that is transforming, and there's a lot of grieving process that happens with that. There's a lot of change that occurs with that. There's a lot of letting go process that has to happen, and there's a lot of healing that has to happen, right? In order for you to come to that acceptance and others around you to come to that acceptance that things are changing. Things are changing, and that's okay, you know, and we all have to learn how to deal with that independently and love each other anyway as that happens. So I hope that this video has helped you in some way for your full moon energy. I'm super excited about how great the energy feels tonight, and I'm going to do some individual sign readings later tonight. So I will come back to you with your full moon love reading later this evening. So I hope you have a great night. Take care.